Alan Shearer needs only 3 words to destroy Erik ten Hag's statement with damning response. Manchester United failed to beat Burnley in the Premier League at the weekend, and Alan Shearer wasn't having any of under fire Erik ten Hag's "woe is me" act. Alan Shearer had no time for Erik ten Hag's defense of his Manchester United side after their latest misstep. With their Champions League hopes over and their bid for a Europa League spot under threat from more consistent rivals, United gifted Burnley a share of the spoils on Saturday as they dropped more points. After the 1-1 draw with Vincent Kompany's relegation-threatened side, Ten Hag was stumped to explain why his team had not taken all 3 points at Old Trafford. He told Match of the Day, "We are one of the most dynamic and entertaining teams in the league at this moment. We are creating loads of chances by playing good football. Every team gives up opportunities, but when it is up to us, it is weird." However, the Premier League's all-time record goalscorer was having none of Ten Hag's assessment. During the latest edition of the Rest is Football podcast, the former Newcastle striker simply responded, "No, they are not." Continuing, Shearer added, "You just don't know what team is going to turn up. They get a decent result one week and they are hopeless the next. You don't know what you're going to get." But that's not true. Burnley played really well at Old Trafford and sliced through United with ease, although that's not difficult these days. If they had taken their chances, they could have scored 5 or 6 goals. Man United have all but missed out on Champions League football next season, with Europa League qualification now in the balance. Premier League legend Alan Shearer has disagreed with Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag's claim that the Reds are the most entertaining team in the division. United slumped to a disappointing 1-1 draw against relegation-threatened Burnley on Saturday. Antony looked to have given his team a late victory, but his strike was cancelled out by Zeki Amdouni's penalty, which all but ended their bid to finish in the Champions League qualification spots. After the match, Ten Hag was stumped to explain why his team did not beat the Clarets. He told Match of the Day, "We are one of the most dynamic and entertaining teams in the league at this moment. We are creating loads of chances by playing good football. Every team gives up opportunities, but when it is up to us, it is weird." Shearer was having none of this though when reflecting on the Dutchman's comments. During the Rest is Football podcast, the former Newcastle striker said, "No, they are not one of the most dynamic and entertaining teams in the league. You just don't know what team is going to turn up. They get a decent result one week and they are hopeless the next. You don't know what you're going to get." But that's not true. Burnley played really well at Old Trafford and sliced through United with ease, although that's not difficult these days. If they had taken their chances, they could have scored 5 or 6 goals. United will guarantee themselves Europa League football if they beat Manchester City in the FA Cup final. Otherwise, they will need to finish either 5th or 6th to enter the second-tier European competition. Manchester United can raise £187 million by selling 3 players as Ineos transfer decisions become clear. Manchester United have several big-name players who could fetch a huge transfer fee as Ineos look towards a summer overhaul after a nightmare campaign at Old Trafford. Manchester United open to offers for all but 3 members of first-team squad, reports. Reports have suggested that Manchester United could be about to embark on a big summer of change at Old Trafford. Manchester United are open to offers for all but 3 current members of their first-team squad during the upcoming transfer window, as Sir Jim Ratcliffe looks to turn the club around ahead of his first full season as an owner of the club. The BBC report that the list of players the club will be open to offers for includes Marcus Rashford, albeit the preference is to keep the England forward at Old Trafford in an attempt to help him rediscover the form that saw him score 30 goals last season. There has previously been interest from Paris Saint-Germain as they look to replace the outgoing Kylian Mbappé. It would take a massive offer for United to consider, but the report claims even captain Bruno Fernandes, new goalkeeper Andre Onana and fullback Diogo Dalot, who only signed a new 5-year deal recently, are also not exempt. In fact, the only 3 players who are reportedly exempt are the trio of youngsters Rasmus Højlund, Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho. However, it is unclear how many players will actually leave the club, with the Daily Telegraph reporting that Erik ten Hag is due to meet with the club's new technical director Jason Wilcox over the state of the current squad. Having missed out on the Champions League for next season, any spending will have to be within stricter profit and sustainability rules due to their lower income from not being in Europe's top competition again. They are not guaranteed a place in the Europa League yet either, and will likely either have to finish 6th, where they are currently 1 point ahead of Newcastle, whom they play at Old Trafford on May 15th, or win the FA Cup final against Manchester City to confirm their spot. It all means they will need to do what they have been traditionally very poor at doing, and get big transfer fees for unwanted players. Antony, Martial and Raphael Varane are out of contract at the end of the season, while Sofian Amrabat is expected to return to Fiorentina after an underwhelming season. Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay were both for sale last year, and despite major contributions this season, the club is still open to offers for them, while Christian Eriksen and Casemiro could also leave after not having the impact they had last term. Donny van der Beek and Hannibal Mejbri are both currently out on loan, and United will be looking to make their departures permanent, while Jadon Sancho and Mason Greenwood are also likely to leave. Sancho's future, however, could be tied to that of Ten Hag, whom he has still not apologized to for his social media outburst in September. The Dutchman is out of contract in 2025, and should he be sacked, it would open the door for Sancho's return to the first-team fold. Manchester United will need to decide on the futures of several first-team players if they are to strengthen their squad this summer. All Premier League clubs need to be mindful of not breaking the league's profit and sustainability rules, PSR, with points deductions handed to Nottingham Forest and Everton this season for breaches. Rules state that clubs are not allowed to lose more than £105 million over 3 seasons, or £35 million each season. With that in mind, United may need to sell some of their stars this summer so they can spend the money required to rebuild their squad after a disappointing campaign. Below is a look at 3 players who could raise a significant sum of money, with all estimated transfer values taken from CIES Football Observatory. Marcus Rashford, €100 million, £85 million. The forward has endured a difficult season after scoring over 30 goals last term. Rashford is an academy graduate, so his sale would be pure profit and a boost to United's FFP, financial fair play, situation. Paris Saint-Germain have been strongly linked in the past, and the likely departure of Kylian Mbappé to Real Madrid could see such rumours resurface. Scott McTominay, €60 million, £51 million. The Scotland international has had a good season in midfield, having scored a career-best 10 goals across all competitions. McTominay is also an academy graduate, so like Rashford, any money generated would be pure profit. McTominay was linked with an Old Trafford exit last summer, with West Ham United seeing a £30 million bid rejected. After a good campaign, his value should increase, meaning United may be tempted into a sale. Antony, €60 million, £51 million. United paid roughly £80 million for the winger from Ajax and are unlikely to get anywhere near that figure back in return. But, aged 24, the Brazilian is still relatively young and should command a reasonable fee. The issue United have is over who would pay anywhere close to the estimated £51 million transfer fee. The club may be hoping that Saudi Arabia could offer a route out for the forward and several other players at Old Trafford. Manchester United can raise £187 million by selling 3 players as Ineos transfer decisions become clear. Manchester United have several big-name players who could fetch a huge transfer fee as Ineos look towards a summer overhaul after a nightmare campaign at Old Trafford. Manchester United open to offers for all but 3 members of first-team squad, reports. Reports have suggested that Manchester United could be about to embark on a big summer of change at Old Trafford. Manchester United are open to offers for all but 3 current members of their first-team squad during the upcoming transfer window, as Sir Jim Ratcliffe looks to turn the club around ahead of his first full season.